It's April 11th, it's the day before my birthday, and this is the first swim of the year. So this is my third year doing this series, and the whole purpose is to document my life, thoughts and feelings as a chapter, as a life bookmark, and something that I can look back on through the years. The point is not to brag about accomplishments or to complain about things going wrong, but rather just to document it simply as it is. It's a good exercise to stop every once in a while and to really look back and reflect on things. And this is different than dwelling in the past. It's more about analyzing the past and then appreciating how far you've come. Even when it doesn't seem like a lot has happened, most likely it has. Today is all about reflection.
Well, with that said, let's start at this time last year. Old Blue was in the shop undergoing serious full-body repairs, along with your van and the old red truck. You and Allie had just renovated your little apartment and moved your offices in there. And you had just gotten out of debt, and you were feeling free.
Where's the keys? Oh, they're at the house. Well, that's that. I left my keys in the apartment, so I gotta drive all the way home.
You had a lot of shooting, editing, and ads to do, but you were getting distracted with your newfound interest in studying the stock market, which would end up giving you an unforgettable lesson. You were drinking too much coffee, and you were giving in too easily to the devil on your shoulder. The one that says, hey, maybe we'll buy a buffalo chicken quesadilla for lunch instead of making a salad at home. Just little things like that add up. But once the earth fully woke up and you could start working on the cabin again, you snapped back into your usual groove. You got back into the gym at some point in the spring, which was your first consistent stretch since healing your right shoulder in early 2022. That was a huge deal as you hadn't been in the gym consistently since before COVID, and regaining strength has a daily impact on your body, mind, and overall mood. You don't feel the same when you're not working on your fitness. You and Allie started making transformative progress on the inside of the cabin, and you also built the garden. You were filming a ton with the new gear you had bought the previous fall and having a blast honing in on your craft. You were spending a good amount of time with friends, foraging the spring forest with Allie, practicing your sourdough baking, and also going to a lot of cookouts at Allie's grandparents', which you absolutely love. You had some local client jobs planned for early summer and a few trips here and there. And right around the time summer was in full swing, you got Old Blue back, you got the van back, and you started working on the inside of that. And you were balancing enjoying summer adventures with keeping up with the cabin and all your other work. You were in a good flow.
got this thing out of the shop for what I thought was one of the last times for a while in February. And as soon as I started it, it sounds like there's an exhaust leak or like the carbs being extra loud. There's something going on. It does not sound good. There's a lot of joys with owning a vintage vehicle, and it's a feeling unlike anything other, but there's certainly an endless struggle. Oy vey, need my own garage.
But some bad financial decisions you had made earlier that year were starting to nip at your heels, and you had a lot of unknown expenses ahead of you. You worked hard all summer, made decent progress on the inside of the cabin, and put together some summer films that you'll always cherish. And all the while, you and Allie were looking at different properties, as running both your businesses out of the tiny apartment was making everyday life challenging. You desperately needed more space, but you wouldn't be able to get a mortgage until you had 2022 tax returns in hand, and they had to be better than last year. And towards the end of the summer, you finally got rid of the old office. It was tough to swallow in some ways, as you spent so much money and time on it, but you knew that keeping it was forcing a square peg into a round hole, and so letting go was very freeing. And that fall, you worked harder than ever. Even after losing some clients for no good reason, you stayed resilient and you had an excellent quarter. Except for a couple little things. You tipped the Land Rover over with Mitch a day after you got it out of the shop with a huge bill. The engine wasn't running right after that, and so not only did you waste all that money on the repairs, but you lost your daily driver. You were getting slammed with these kind of things left and right. They were draining your wallet, and the worst part is, they were all your fault. But that's what led to you getting the Trooper, and though it was another big financial hit, it's been fantastic, and it's going to be cheap to keep alive. This was the start of you making more tame decisions. And that was also around the time you got the big red truck back after 2 years in the shop. It was feeling kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But personal challenges are good opportunities to practice emotional intelligence, and you were trying to do just that. And as the new year rang in, you started actively making real changes in your life. You deleted all social medias off your phone, you started focusing really hard in the gym, and most importantly, you started dedicating more time than ever to work-life balance. And this was when you and Allie started playing a lot of card games with friends and family every week, and that made a positive impact on your mental health. It was also around the time you met some new friends, which was exciting, because they're into a lot of the same stuff as you. You and Allie were racing to finish the inside of the cabin before the snow made the road impassable. And after countless days of collecting barnwood with the trusty Trooper and many late nights and overnight stints, you pretty much finished it up. All that's left is plumbing and some homey details, which you can't wait to get into this spring. And it was early in 2023 that you got some new tattoos, started some new books, and started tapping into a whole new wave of inspiration. You decided it's time you actually start some projects you've put off for many years, such as writing some books and designing courses about photography and filmmaking. You built troutandcoffee.com too. You're realizing that you probably won't finish any of these things this year, but the point is, you started, and that's often the hardest part. You decided to give in to spontaneity this year, and you and Allie booked a spring trip out of the country with good friends. And you also took a last-minute road trip down south to chase the cherry blossoms. Though there's a lot of work that you want to do back home, you know that these kind of trips are good for the soul and essential for recharging creativity. And unfortunately, when you and Allie took the train down to Florida in March, you hurt your left shoulder in the gym and also your left knee. And having your entire body feel weak after making such good progress was very tough. But you've been diligently rehabbing everything slowly and are confident you'll be running full steam by summer. You can no longer deny that your body isn't what it used to be even 5 years ago, and you've tuned in more to certain pains and muscular issues that haven't gone away. You're taking action to actually address them, though. In order to rehab your shoulder and knee, you've implemented daily stretches that will not only help remedy these injuries, but help prevent them for the rest of your life. You want to live pain-free, and like anything else, to do it right, it takes dedication and consistency. You've learned a lot about patience in the past year, about accepting what is and focusing on what to do about it, rather than moping about the problem itself. You've made a lot of mistakes in 2022, and you've taken time to fully analyze and understand them. And now you have them in your wisdom box where they'll live forever. And in one of the most exciting developments of your 30th year, by a wild series of events, you found a house. Though you're pretty far along in the process, you don't want to get too excited because anything can happen. But it looks like this will be your last spring in the tiny apartment, and you and Allie will finally be getting the space you need to blossom. And in keeping with the energy of 2023, you did something that you've wanted to do for years, the ultimate reset.
This is crazy.
Just go for the middle verse, like straight. Wow.
You've had bad dandruff for a long time, and so getting the hair out of the way will really let you get to the root of the problem and cure it. But the real reason you wanted to do this is because it's stimulating. It's a total change and it's exciting. And the best part, it grows right back. Before you started buzzing, you had the same feeling as before you jumped in the ice-cold river earlier this day. It's a nervous excitement. And that feeling right there awakens your soul. It ignites your instincts. And doing that challenging thing, even when it feels scary at the time, is the ultimate power. You're starting to care a little less what people think and focus more on staying true to you. Being detached from social media has given you more clarity, and having less noise has made it easier to hear your intuition. 31 is going to be a life-changing year. It already has been, and it's only mid-April. Just stay the course, keep your ear to your gut and that creative chickadee, and never stop telling stories. But most importantly, take your mind off the end goal and enjoy every day as it comes.